Hey YouTube, how are you? This is Tiff Marshall, social media consultant, helping you get the online exposure you need and deserve by using proven social media strategies. You can always find out more about your girl at tiffmarshall.com, and if you're on Instagram, be sure to follow me at I am Tiff Marshall. Now, I'm going to briefly answer one question that I get a lot, and that is, Tiffany, how can I become a social media manager? Now, listen, like when I graduated college 10 years ago, is it 10? Lord have mercy, I don't even know. I don't want to count right now. But when I graduated college, becoming a social media manager was not an idea. I don't even know if it was possible, or I don't even know if it was a real job description, because actually my first year in college was the first year or second year of Facebook, because you had to have a college address to even, get on Facebook. You had to have a college email address to get on Facebook. So social media was still new. There was no such thing as a social media manager. So it fell upon my lap when I got my first job and I wasn't making good money. So I was like, I gotta find another way to make money. Like, I grew up an only child. I didn't have much like growing up, but I never felt poor until I graduated college. And that was like an oxymoron, because I was like, okay, I graduated college, got this degree, life is supposed to be better. And so when I first graduated, I moved back home with my mom. My car was paid off because I inherited a paid off car, things like that. So life was all right, like I didn't have many responsibilities to bill, a lot of bills. I didn't have a lot of bills. So then I moved out and I was like, I don't have no money, like legit, y'all, like no money. Like rent was $1,000 and some change. It just was like crazy. I was like, one paycheck seemed like it went to rent alone. So I was okay, this is not the life. Like, I was really upset because I was like, nobody told me this. Like, people say just go to college, but like they don't tell you about like how the loans stack up, or how the paycheck really not that well, depending on what you major in. I would have completely changed my major, and I'm going to talk about that in another video. I would have completely majored in something else other than what I majored in. Okay, so anyway, that kind of was a trajectory for me to look into other avenues to make an income. And so what I started doing was I ordered a product online. I never forget the product I ordered. It was a necklace, and I paid like almost $20 for it. And I bought it on Instagram, and I was like, so this girl basically bought this necklace from a vendor, and she upsold me a lot. So I was like, oh, I can do this. So I did the same thing. I got me a little EIN, registered a business name, and I started selling jewelry online on Instagram. And I was making good money. I was making good money, There are days I'll make $400-500 in a day. And so compared to my other job, that's, I was making $500 a week after taxes, right? And most people, like, I don't mind being open about the figures and the income and things like that, because many people say, oh, you don't make a lot of money doing X, Y, and Z. But like, really tell people like the dollar amount, because had I known what the dollar amount was, because what people do is they tell you the full salary. Oh, you'll make $50,000, you'll make $40,000, but what is $40,000 divided by all your paychecks, deducting health care and taxes or whatever else, and look at what your take home is. I think we need to start showing people take home pay, not just full salary. But anyway, let me stay on target. So I basically use social media to make money. And like I said, I'm an only child. I'm social, but I'm not social. Like, I enjoy time by myself. So I was like, what? I can make money and stay home? When? And so that's what I did. So I just started like learning social media, and I'm a millennial. So I tell people, like, we are social media. Like, I learned how to type fast, not because of keyboard in class in school, but because we had AOL Instant Messenger. Like, we had Black Planet and different, pages like that, MySpace, to connect and share. And I was like, all these blogs that were written 10 years ago were written by my generation. All these old school marketers who are now branding themselves as digital marketers and social media marketers, they were they were not that 10 years ago. They're changing that. So I know one time somebody said, well, why should I hire you over so and so? And I was like, here's why. Because I'm 7 years younger and I just get it. Okay, I just get it. And so I started using social media that way. And then one day my pastor was like, oh, you're going to do social media for the church. And I was like, no, I'm not. I don't want to do social media for church. Because I know church is not going to pay me. It's going to be volunteer. Listen, don't judge me. That's what I was thinking. And I just felt like a higher level of responsibility because I now have to make sure that I, you know, kind of cross my T's and dot my I's because I'm doing social media for the church. So my social media has to be up to par. You know, I have to be, you know, good on internet. Not that I was posting raunchy stuff, but I just had to make sure that I was up to par because now I'm not only a leader in church, but I'm leading a social media team. And so everything we do can be judged because what we post is public. You know, how we live our personal lives has to be in check because God is not going to hold me accountable on a different level. So I started doing it there and just by word of mouth, started helping people. And then in order to like legally run a business and collect money from people, I had to register my business. And so that's how my business was started, by doing social media. So there was no blueprint for me. I figured it out. I did ask a lady in my area to be my mentor because at that time she was the social media leader at a mega church. And she was like, sure. And that helped me. My church also has a lot of our media is outsourced, like our website, our marketing display, and a lot of our video is outsourced to a larger company. So the person over that company has been a mentor for me. And just really being studious, reading, researching, and learning by trial and error. Paying attention to what's going on, not being afraid to step outside of the box, understanding what branding means, understanding what the consumer needs on the digital side. You know, there's a lot into social media marketing and being a social media manager because you're now creating the digital brand for that company, and that's something that's very serious. It's also very important to know and to explain to your client that you won't always get it right, you won't always be perfect because they've had that company for 10-15 years and you're new to it. So do explain to them that you need them to be open and honest about what they want. They've got to clearly explain their brand experience and everything that they want their clients to encounter, but understand that social media, it is not going to be perfect. It's going to always change. And ask your clients to let you have fun with it. You know, social is fun. People get on social media for good, positive, engaging experiences. And that's what you got to do online. So that's basically how I became a social media manager. Didn't even know the title existed. So many of the things that I didn't understand the job description, but when I started to read certain job descriptions, and even schools now are having social media certification programs, which is cool. I was like, oh yeah, I do that. You know, oh yeah, I do that. You just learn how to do Facebook ads. You just learn how to do Google AdWords. You know how to create. You just learn how to create content calendars. Like I was doing content calendars before I knew it was a content calendar. I just created a spreadsheet with some times and purpose and, you know, keywords and things like that. And really understand that becoming a social media manager is work. People think it's just posting pictures online, and it's really not. You got to outline everything that you do for the client, have different packages available at different price points, and clearly let them know what their contract, whatever they subscribe to, let them know what their contract entails, because people will always want more than they pay for. I know social media managers who start off at $1,000 a month, period, for basic stuff. You know, so be very clear about that and understand that you have to eat, live, breathe social media. There are times that I wake up out of my sleep with content ideas. It's real. It's real. So, yeah. So that's how I became a social media manager. If you have any questions, I'm open to answering any and all of your questions. Drop them below. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram. I am Tiff Marshall.